we continue our coverage of the 2025 Dream Nations Cup here from the rink at the American Dream Mall here in New Jersey. It has already been a very, very exciting day. We've had ups and downs and turn me arounds, and it's barely even lunchtime. We're getting set for our 1:30 matchup here. We finished all of our D1 men's games for the day. It's been a high-scoring affair of days for sure. Here's the rundown of what we've had so far today. First off, in the first game, Central America defeating Puerto Rico. That was a score of 4-1 was the final in that. Then after that, we had our biggest blowout of the day. That was Egypt losing to Armenia by a score of 6-0. That was to be expected, a high-scoring affair from our Armenian team that's hoping to win big this year in the D1 competition. And the game that we just finished up a couple of minutes ago, that was South Korea dropping the game to the Indigenous. That was a final of 9-4. But here's the game right now. We have Pakistan and Brazil, the opening game of men's Division II play. We got two of them today. We got the Caribbean and Mexico playing after this. But the game on the ice right now, you see the Brazilian team in their signature blue and gold and green. And on the other side is Pakistan wearing white with green lettering. Here's the playing of the national anthems. That was the playing of both the Brazilian and Pakistani national anthems. Now, what's really has already been great about this tournament. This is the second installment of this Dream Nations Cup we're bringing you here from the American Dream Mall. What's really been special about this is seeing so many nations that we normally don't associate with hockey, not really in the slightest, at least not in the mainstream, come here onto this rink at American Dream Mall and face off, see the different types of games they play, all the different styles of hockey, and how they have interpreted this sport from one part of the world and brought it to another part of it. It's a very exciting thing to watch, and certainly these two teams will bring us just that same thing. It'll be Pakistan and it will be Brazil. Should be another very exciting matchup. These are two teams here in this Division II matchup that have never been here for this tournament. They were not part of this tournament last year, but both are thriving hockey programs that are, you know, Brazil's program is at this point significantly older than Pakistan's program, but both still on the rise to global prominence on the international hockey scene. It's been very exciting to watch their come up. We'll talk a little bit about their histories in a little bit. I'm actually going to be joined by a representative from the Brazilian national team, Claudio Cavalcanti. He will be coming in to talk to me during the second period. That'll be very, very exciting. But for now, we're getting ready for puck drop. Both teams set to go. Division II play for the Dream Nations Cup is underway here in New Jersey. Brazil wins the opening faceoff, and they had it first. It's Marchetti who had the puck, starting things off for the Brazilians. Coming up along the near side now, Pakistan. They're going to get its first opportunity here. Brazil takes it back, play loose at center ice, and it's recovered here. Now it's Craig with the puck for Pakistan, looking for an opening, can't find it, recovers it himself. Moving from the left side, and it's a save from the netminder for Brazil on the stick side. Play coming up here along the mid-wing. Craig with the puck again. Now it's his teammate Khan. Puck loose, recovered by Brazil, back to center ice. Tripping in the neutral zone. Pakistan back with it, back behind their own net. Covering it here for Pakistan is Reed Potter. Now sending it back down the other way. It's going to be gloved by the netminder for Brazil, and we have our first stoppage, a minute 20 in to play here in this matchup between Pakistan and Brazil. The netminder for the Brazilians is Rafael Goncalves, the 26-year-old. He's from Troy, Michigan. Graduate of Michigan Dearborn, has represented the Brazilians at the LATAM Cup and has been playing for Michigan Dearborn since 2019. Another glove save there on a quick shot from way up to be off the stick of Bilal Balti for Pakistan. Face off to the glove side of Goncalves. Here's a shot right on him, loose, and this one winds up over the net. First opportunity here for Pakistan, and it was a good one. This one gets deflected away. Play along the near boards. Retaking possession is Robertson for Brazil. Played along the backboards. Trying to be handled by Tornman. Back the other way is Mughal, Tristan Mughal. Easy for Telemac. He's in front of the net, but it's recovered by Brazil. Back up on the far wing here, Robertson tries to dump it for Tornman. Played along the backboards. There to grab it was Lucas Miranda for the Brazilians. Played along over the far boards now. Matthew Melnick get his first touch for Brazil. Loose puck in front, winds up on the stick of a Pakistani. It's Ali Khan, one of many Khans on this roster, getting his first mention of the afternoon. Here's a tripping in the neutral zone on an own team. And it gives Pakistan a possession, but they lose it immediately. There's Reed Potter with the puck. Play stops here. Isaac Gibbs was the one with the puck. It looks like it was likely an offside call. We're 3 minutes in to our first game of Division II play on opening day of the 2025 Dream Nations Cup. This game between Pakistan and Brazil. 2 shots already for the Pakistanis. Brazil yet to get one on the board. Here's Reed Potter again. Dumps it back behind the Brazilian net. Up at the top point. And whipped around the boards. That was by number 71, Ali Khan. Played on the other end there. Now back up top. Down low again on the move. Tough coverage here from the Brazilians. Balti tried to get an opportunity going, but it's stolen right out of his hands. Looks like it's Gibbs coming up the far wing. Now he leaves it for Melnick. Melnick under pressure, tries to center, but there's nobody there. In the near right corner, Brazil loses possession. Dump back the other way. Now here's a shot right on and a save on Goncalves. He doesn't hold on to it for long enough. He lets go of it and play continues. Now an interception. Brazil takes back possession immediately. It's Matteo Marchetti racing it down to the far end. Now a scramble in the near corner. McGolgan, Tyler McGolgan from West Haven, Connecticut with the puck. Now Marchetti again. This puck in front bounces around. And this one's out of play into the netting. That's Ali Natu in net number 1, the goalie for Pakistan. This face-off is going to be to his left on his glove side. 4.5 minutes into this game. Pakistan 3 shots, Brazil 1 shot. No one yet to score. McGolgan taking the face-off for the Brazilians. They'll be on the attack here. Face-off comes right back and a save on a loose puck. Held down by Natu. Natu played college hockey at Cornell University. Cornell's hockey team not an NCAA affiliate, part of the ACHA's Division II, played there during the 2023-24 season. Loose in the neutral zone, here's the race for it. It's grabbed by Colin Craig, the native of New York City, just a few minutes from here. Now a trip along the boards, and there's going to be a penalty here. Likely a tripping call. And it'll be number 8 for Pakistan, Tariq Khan, who will go to the penalty box, and he will give the Brazilians their first power play of the day. This will be a 2-minute minor on Khan. Brazil with the man advantage here for the next 2 minutes. Trying to take advantage immediately here. Pakistan able to get it out of the zone. Way back at center ice here. Genie. Up along the near wing here for Brazil. Shot comes right on, and it's snagged by Natu, and he stops play. A little over 5 minutes into this game. Shots even at 3. 20 seconds into this Brazilian power play. The first man advantage of the day for either side. The official call of the penalty was a roughing penalty on number 8, Tariq Khan. One of a handful of Khans on this roster. Pakistan has one of the longer rosters in this tournament, 23 players to Brazil's 18, for example. Here's a backhanded attempt that gets flickered away. Back into the corner and eventually cleared. Along the near wing, here comes a shot right on that Natu is able to save. That one came off the stick of Gibbs. Still in the zone. Brazil might have another chance. Up top, it's Kelly. That one deflects away back behind the net. Gibbs tries to get an opportunity going, and that'll be out of play. Well, halfway through the power play, Brazil's registered 3 shots so far in the opening minute, and Pakistan getting their first attempt at a penalty kill. Matthew Melnick taking the face-off. Here's a shot and it's in! That one deflects off the goalie Ali Natu and somehow snuck past him, and that's the opening goal of the day. Brazil takes the lead straight away, and it looked to be off the puck of Matthew Melnick. The 25-year-old Towson graduate from Westfield, New Jersey, not very far from here. He's the one to put Brazil on the board first. And it's 1-0 in favor of the blue. So Brazil now working with a 1-goal advantage here in the opening few minutes. Every single one of these games today has had a goal in the opening 6 or so minutes of the game. This affair is no different. So it's a short-handed goal. Or rather a power play goal, I should say. That brings Khan out of the penalty box. Here's a shot attempt for Pakistan, and this one gets deflected away, and not stopped there by Conclave. Number 27, Craig with the puck. Gives it back on top and takes it right back. Shuffled along the board. Brazil retakes possession. Played in the near corner. This one's left from Miranda. Miranda handling. Waits an opening, tries to center, gets deflected. Pakistan's going to clear. Now back on the counter rush. Here's a whip around. Now pass in front, and a shot gets deflected away. This one's out of play, and it stops the clock. 7:53 on the clock in the opening period. So that's a power play goal. It's scored by Matthew Melnick, and on the assist is Ryan Koch, graduate of the University of South Florida, played some college hockey there as well. Back along the boards, looking to try it again. It's Capel here. Back in the other direction now, number 88 for Pakistan. He leaves it up top. It's going to be Khan, but it gets deflected away. Gibbs trying to bring it in. He's in there with Kelly. Kelly comes back around. Loose puck in front, gets knocked away. Here's another shot here from Melnick. Gets deflected. This one off the side of the net on a try again. That's Miranda, that one knocked away. Halfway through this first period, Brazil a 1-0 lead off a power play goal from Matthew Melnick. It's an attempt in front that Pakistan's able to stop. Looked like it was off the skate of McClure. Come back here is Telemac. Telemac skims through, gets a shot on. Aided by an attempted assist, but it didn't go, and this one's knocked away. Now it's Miranda on the counter. Up the far wing, dumps it down. To be handled by Natu. Crossing pass deep in their own zone. Brazil's going to try and recover it here. Up at the top, but they can't keep it in the zone. Now it's Mughal. Tristan Mughal. Leaves it back for Mughal. His twin. Now another attempt on, and that one's saved by Conclave. We saw both the Mughal twins try and work it there. Here's a crossing attempt deep in the zone that doesn't work. This one winds up right on net, but it's able to shift it away. Goncalves. Now here comes a counterattack. On the far wing, a shot right on, gets deflected away. Trying to keep it in the zone, but Pakistan takes possession. And finally, they're able to clear. Now an interception in the neutral zone, looked to be Tornman. Here's a shot on, and it's stopped by Natu. He lost it for a second, but was able to glove it eventually. About 10 minutes into the game, Brazil takes a 1-0 lead. They scored that goal with a man advantage after a penalty to Khan. Face off to the glove side of Natu. Pakistan with possession, deep in their own zone. Brazil keeps it in. And finally, here comes a clearing by Bali. Khan now spinning, gets a shot right on, gets deflected away. And Clave was able to stop it. Now here come the Brazilians the other way. Down the near wing. Loose in front. And a rebound. And a save by Natu. Gets a couple more saves on that one. Brazil has been very strong so far in this game on the counterattack. Essentially how they respond to a scoring attempt from the other side. 4:51 remaining here in the first period. Brazilians still up 1-0. It'll be McGolgan to take the face-off for Brazil. His team on the offensive here. Played across by the defense, and Pakistan's able to clear. Play in the neutral zone. Brazil retakes possession. It's Marchetti. Marchetti! And a nice shot with a glove save there from Natu. Face off one back by Pakistan. Played a lot of time in their own zone so far in this game. Their attacks have been decisive, but not for long. That one's knocked away. Adam Renda's stick. McGolgan, I should say. Across into the neutral zone. Now here comes Pakistan. That's when it's knocked away. Looked like Marchetti was able to get his stick on it there and clear it. Attempt again here for the white and green. And Brazil steals it back. Down the near wing, here's a dumping pass. That winds up back the other way. And we're going to get a penalty here. Marchetti took a hard hit to the boards from number 27 for Pakistan, Colin Craig. And that's going to result in another Brazilian power play as Craig goes to the box. So we talk about Pakistan. This is their first time here in the tournament, and the story of their team is fascinating. They were founded by Donnie Khan, who is a man of Pakistani descent who came to the States when he was 14, fell in love with the game of hockey, was interested in playing, so he'd save up his money from his after-school jobs to go to hockey camp, and then eventually he became a senior director of the NHL, and now he's running this program. Here's a shot right on, and it's saved by Natu. That was off the stick of Socrates Kelly from Wayne, Pennsylvania, the 18-year-old. One of the kids on this team. 3:27 left on the clock. So anyways, Khan is fascinating. Here is how he built the Pakistani national team. First, he searched online and on social media for players of Pakistani descent. Obviously, that was his first step. Then he used a site called Elite Prospects, which is a search engine, and he searched for players with his last name, Khan, K-H-A-N. And that's how he built this team. Here's an attempt for Pakistan here. It gets knocked away. Nice defense there from the Brazilian side. 3 and change left here in the first period. Here's an interception deep in the zone. It's Mughal. Now he leaves it for his teammate, who is the victim of a nice save by Goncalves. Robertson handling for Brazil. Lucas Robertson, Columbus, Ohio. Now he's the real baby of the team, 16 years old. Here he's with the puck now before handing it off. Now here's a shot. That's a little wide of the net. Back across the far boards. Robertson handling there, leaves it back. Shot right on, but gets deflected. 2.5 minutes left in the period. The centering pass that couldn't work and attempted a one-timer. Would have been a goal for Becerra. Played back behind the net here, Isaac Gibbs. Awaits an opening. Here's a chance up top and a shot, and this one gets deflected and winds up wide. Here's Bengosh, who dumps the puck down for Pakistan. It's stopped by the Clavs before an icing. Under 2 minutes to play in the period. Brazil with 12 shots, Pakistan with 8. Here's a clearing attempt that gets intercepted at center ice. Here's Gibbs with it. Gibbs a shot right on. That's knocked away by Natu. Nice save there. 13th shot of the game for Brazil on that one. Across the 4 boards, well out of play, and no icing on this one. Gibbs handling for Brazil. Under 90 seconds to play in the first period. Here's an attempt to clear. That's a body defensive play. Now up top here, here's a shot. That one was from Kelly, and it went wide. Minute left to go in the period. Cavalcanti. Back, and now we've hit the 1 minute mark. Good period for both teams here, both getting their opportunities. It's worked so far for Brazil, obviously. Miranda spinning around, looking for an opening, couldn't find one. Leaves a backhand pass across the boards, but it doesn't work, and Pakistan clears. Clock stops here on an icing call with 37.2 seconds left on the clock in the period. So that was an icing. If you're not familiar with much of the game, basically, it's a rule that keeps you from just trying to dump the puck completely to the other side of the ice every single time it's in your zone. It basically penalizes you for the puck going more than 2 lines across the other way, and it sends it right back into your own zone. That's basically what that is. 30 seconds left here in the first period. 1-0 Brazil leads. Marchetti fighting with it. In the near corner. Play moves into the neutral zone here. It's Ali Khan with the puck. Before he dumps it down. 8 seconds left in the period. Brazil will try and rush one more attempt. Up the far wing, it's Kelly, gets knocked off his stick. Now McGolgan, but there's not enough time to get the shot across. And that ends the first period. A decent one for both teams. More beneficial, though, for Brazil. They score a goal. It is off the stick of Matthew Melnick, his first in Dream Nations Cup play. And after 15 minutes gone by, 1-0 Brazil leads. We'll be right back with the second period in just a moment. Back here for period number 2 of this game at the 2025 Dream Nations Cup. This matchup is Pakistan and Brazil. It's the opening matchup of Division II men's play here in this tournament. And speaking of Brazil, I'm joined by a very special guest here for this second period, and I'd like to introduce you to him. He is my new friend, and he's a representative of the Brazilian hockey team. His name is Claudio Cavalcanti.
That's correct.
Great, glad I got that right.
Yeah.
Well, Claudio, first of all, thank you so much for being here, and thank you for coming to speak to us here on the broadcast. Really appreciate it as we get the opening face-off coming up here in a second. I wanted to wait for the second period. So, Claudio, tell me, as best you can, what you're here to represent, what the Brazilian hockey team is trying to accomplish here at Dream Nations, and whatever else you can tell us about the effort here.
Was hockey, and hockey in Brazil in general. Brazilian hockey was created with the goal of raising awareness of hockey among Brazilians. As you know, Brazilians are very passionate about soccer, but don't know much about hockey yet.
Here's a shot and a nice save there by Goncalves. Clock stops at 14:23 remaining here in the second period. So anyways, you were saying?
Yeah, and as ice hockey enthusiasts like we are, we also want to share our passion with Brazilian people and emphasize the importance of developing ice hockey in this country. So Brazilian ice hockey works by training, developing, promoting ice hockey for Brazilians worldwide, catering for all age groups. This team you are seeing here is mostly composed by players based in US, Canada, and Brazil. So, yeah, a few players have flown from Brazil actually, and they arrived yesterday morning. They practiced until 1 a.m. today, and they are playing today. So that's,
oh my goodness,
that's a proof of how we love this sport, right?
That's some crazy stuff. That is not easy to do, and credit to these players for having such a quick turnaround. That's what, maybe 12 hours from practice to game time, and you've got to fit some sleep in there. Especially the guys who are coming from Brazil. The layover must be crazy. Now let me ask you, as we see a run up the far boards here, and a shot right on that Goncalves is going to glove as play stops here. Just about a minute and a half into the second period, Brazil 1-0 lead. So you mentioned how, we typically, especially those of us here in the U.S., we typically associate sports in Brazil with pretty much strictly soccer. I have always found soccer and hockey to be very similar sports. What do you think?
Oh yeah, definitely. I have no idea why Brazilians don't love ice hockey as much as they love soccer, because it's pretty much a very easy game to understand for those who are already soccer fans, and also have the same ideas and way more fast game, and with music on the top. And of course, Brazilians sometimes, when they first meet and know about hockey, of course they are first introduced with the fighting and everything else. So all of these things make a way more fun sport than soccer overall.
Yeah, certainly the more cartoonish perception of hockey is that just a bunch of guys with no teeth who fight. Let's get the puck dumped back behind the opposite net. That's not too still back there for the Pakistanis. Now, let's talk a little bit more about that. So, obviously, hockey is a much more fast-paced sport than soccer, and a lot of naysayers of soccer, that'll be their main complaint, is that the sport's too slow. This addresses that immediately.
Exactly. And yeah, that's exactly why we believe that Brazilians overall may fall in love with hockey, as long as they have more information about them.
Absolutely. It's tough to get that information to them. It's it's obviously a very U.S. and Canada-centric sport. And then outside of that, you have the Slavic countries, and that's about it. Here's an opportunity coming up here.
Yeah, that's sad, but we have a strong history in both roller and inline hockey as well. We have also some World Championships on the D2 on the IIHL a few years ago. So yeah, we also have some tradition already on the...
Oh, here's an attempt here.
Yeah, on
that
the
nearly wound
non-ice
up in a
versions.
breakaway goal right there. And the same roller hockey.
Oh yeah, definitely, and the inline too. So I think there's a very great work done by the Alexander Capelli, which is the team manager from Brazil Ice Hockey.
Sure.
So there's a very great participations on World Championships from the inline hockey. So we are adapting this talent that we already have also for the ice hockey. That's going to be a great thing for Brazil.
Wonderful. We're talking here in the second period as Ali Hader Janjua is going to take the third Pakistani penalty of the afternoon, and Brazil's going to get another power play here. They already got 13 shots in this game, and they have a 1-goal lead. But I think you had something else you were going to say, right?
Yeah, and well, one thing I can say about it's the ice hockey in Brazil. It's the first time we're participating on the Dream Nations Cup. However, we are participating from Brazilian the Latin Cup since 2018.
I see.
And since 2021, we are also bringing the youth divisions, the 12 and the 14 youths. So, for example, our U12 team from the last 4 championships, we won gold on 3 of them and silver on the others. So we have a very great generation coming up. And also the 14U have a very similar performance. And yeah, that's pretty much a snapshot of how we are growing ice hockey in Brazil so far.
That's excellent to hear. Now, you mentioned how this particular team, we could talk more about the program as a whole in a second, but this particular team, you said, is made up of mostly people who are based in the U.S. I know there's a big Brazilian population here in New Jersey, isn't that right?
I don't know much about New Jersey, but I can tell you for sure that Brazilians are everywhere.
We're everywhere, all over the place.
Exactly.
Oh, here's a shot right coming on, and a shorthanded attempt right here.
Yeah.
Or I should say that's even strength. That penalty looks like it was negated after some talk between officiating and the players. So we're still at even strength, 1-0 Brazil leads.
Actually, Brazil is in the short-handed right now. There's a player in the penalty box.
There you go. For your information, folks, it's a little tough to read the scoreboard from over here, and
Number 72.
I couldn't even see. There you go. So it's, as we suspected earlier, it's in the penalty box is Alexandre Kazuo, represented Brazil at the last 3 LATAM Cups. Can you tell me a little bit about the LATAM Cups, the Latin American Cups that Brazil has participated in? Because I know there's a few players on this team who have been a part of that.
Oh yeah, sure. Although we are bringing this, it's kind of a new generation of players right now. So we have very young players. There's a 15-year-old player playing here. Some of them are already participating in the Latin Cup, and that's been like a very great experience for us. It's a tournament that we're playing in Florida, and we have a great Brazilian population in Florida, and also Florida is growing a lot the sport recently. So it's been a very great pleasure to see all these players coming together once a year. They really have a lot of fun and playing against all other teams from Latin America and also all around the world. Because today LATAM Cup is not just Latin America, it's grown way abroad from players everywhere.
Play stops here, and now you talk about Florida. Florida has quite a few of the last couple of Stanley Cups too.
Yeah.
So it's even at the pro level that Florida has become a hub, if you will, for hockey. And again, much like a lot of the countries that are participating in this tournament, not something you particularly expect, but it's still very fun to see. But I wanted to get back to how so many of these players are based in the U.S. and Canada, and then some from Brazil. How does one go about building a team that's based from a bunch of different places?
That's a very big challenge. We have some, as I mentioned, we have a training, not a training facility, but we are.
Here's a breakaway attempt and a nice save there by Natu. That was Lucas Robertson who tried to get that one into the back of the net and give Brazil their second power play goal of the game.
So as we have many coaches there, our main coach of Brazil is in Florida. We can have some practice sometimes, but most of the players are not there. So
sure,
it's pretty challenging. We just have like one practice for the tournaments, sometimes 2. So it's very hard.
Here's a shot right on. Goncalves is able to stomach. Played along the near boards back the other way. And now here's another attempt. This one, Melnick trying for another one, and he scores again! Second goal of the afternoon for the Brazilians. Second goal of the afternoon for Matthew Melnick. And 2-0 the Brazilians lead over Pakistan here in the second period. It was a nice goal right there.
Nice goal. He was coming out from the bench, if I remember correctly, and used the opportunity. He got it and just scored. Digged from the goal, the right side, nothing the goalie could do, and it's a nice score for Brazil, making now 2-0.
They have a nice 2-0 lead here in the second period. That's not the kind of lead that's been safe so far in tournament play today. But nevertheless, you can breathe a bit of a sigh of relief, especially here in the first game of the tournament. You come in, especially their first time being in this particular tournament, you don't know what's going to happen. It's nice to have a 2-0 lead, I'm sure. And the Pakistanis are not that far behind. 2-0 is, they say, the least safe lead in sports is a 2-0 lead.
Exactly. And also, it's good to see that Pakistan also pretty much the same amount of shots that Brazil has, so they're very close game.
Very evenly matched game. Here's another shot here that Natu's able to knock away. It's McGolgan down in the corner, but he's knocked off of the puck. Pakistan recovers, but an interception here before it clears. Robertson couldn't handle it. Kelly back to recover for the Brazilians. Pakistan making a line change. And play continues. 8:40 left here in the second period. 2-0 Brazil leads now. As you mentioned, shots are even at 15 apiece. Now here's Robertson on the breakaway again, but it's knocked away. Trying to break through the double team that he'd been put inside there. He couldn't do it. Now Pakistan on the counter. Across the near boards. Here's an attempt to center. It wouldn't work. Looking for a save there. Up to the top slot. Here's a shot right on that gets deflected away. Rebound is shuffled off to the side. Shot from up top gets deflected. And the puck dribbles back the other way. Back to grab is Bengash. Under 8 minutes left here in the second period. We're just at about the halfway point of this game. Brazil a 2-0 lead. And like we talked about, pretty evenly matched so far. Here's an attempt here. Claves is able to stop. Oh man, he got let out of the net right there. And he's able to put his body around it as play stops here.
Perfect sliding, perfect movement from the goalie Gonçalves. He was just paying attention. The puck passed in front of him. He just slid perfectly to the right place and make a very good save.
So we alluded to this slightly earlier. I know this is true about the Pakistani team. Most of them, here's another shot that gets deflected. Another attempt. Claves is able to stop in the near corner. Back behind the net. And the net comes off of its hinges and play stops again. 7:29 left in the game. Again, talking here with my friend Claudio Cavalcanti. Claudio, I wanted to ask you about, I know this is true for the Pakistani team. We alluded to this a little bit. But the Pakistani team, most of them did not meet until they arrived here for this tournament. I would imagine it's the same for this Brazilian side as well.
Yeah, exactly. We know pretty much the challenges they all must have, but we were not expecting...
Here's a shot right on it. Claves is able to save, and play stops again.
We are not expecting any easy game today. We were really expecting that it's going to be tough as it's been, so they are not disappointing us.
Yeah. I mean, these are both very good teams, and we're glad to have them here in their first visits to the Dream Nations Cup. That one winds up in the netting and out of play. Okay, so you talk about a little bit about this opponent, the Pakistanis, for the Brazilians. They got a couple more games in the group stage before we hit the knockout phase. For those watching at home, how this tournament's going to work is you play a couple games against everyone in your group, and then you move on to a knockout phase if you are to succeed. Now, the other two games here, the Caribbean and Mexico, who face off later. He's an attempt at a centering pass that gets knocked away. How are the Brazilians feeling about both of those games?
Oh, they are very known to us, known faces to us as we play them against on the Latin Cup every match. Mexico program is very good. It's developing a lot.
Here's a shot attempt, and Claves is able to save. It's loose and eventually knocked away and cleared.
So yeah, the Caribbean team, we know them, we play them a lot, and also same thing for the Mexico. And so we're expecting very tough games, games that should be decided very much by 1 goal maximum.
Play stops here. Looks like we might get a penalty. Well, so let me ask you. We were talking about opponents. We're talking about this particular game. We're talking about the feeling of a team that maybe doesn't fully know each other as well as you might want to know your teammates. They were up until 1 a.m. last night practicing. I'm sure they all, are living in hotel rooms right now, getting to know each other. What are the vibes like on the team right now?
Yeah, I think everyone's very excited for playing for Brazil,
Yeah.
and that brings them together very quickly in the end. But we had a very quick meeting before the practice yesterday night, so we met each other, know pretty much where everyone is coming from, and knowing about the program. So this will be very quick, and the adjustment.
Ooh, nice shot and a glove save by Conclaves. Play stops with 6:09 remaining in the period.
Yeah, and then, so that's it. I think we're going to build this chemistry with the team during the tournament, and hopefully by the third game or even the fourth game, we'll be already knowing each other, knowing what everyone does, what everyone is, and I think this is going to improve a lot our game.
Oh, here's a shot that bubbles away. Looked like it was going to fall onto the net, but it ricocheted off of something. Deflected, backhanded into the far corner. Pakistan at 19 shots to Brazil's 15. They still trail 2-0. Here's a shot that gets lifted a little too far and away. Looked like Ronaldo missing a PK, that one looked like. This is a shot in front, still loose. Claves was able to save it, and eventually Brazil able to deflect it away. And we have an icing here. So play back on the other end again. So we talked about this earlier too. You had mentioned the amount of passion that Brazilians have, from an American perspective. Our idea of Brazilians is that they have passion for, well, just about everything. So how is that translated into the type of game that Brazil plays hockey-wise? What kind of style of hockey would you say you play?
Well, Brazilians overall like winning any sport, so they're really competitive and really going to use a lot of their energy and try to do their best all the games that we're playing. And so this is pretty much the Brazilian DNA. It's like too much energy, a lot of competition, and I think we're going to see this a lot on this team. Other rest pretty much come with time as different styles.
Sure.
We have Texas players, we have Atlanta players, we have Seattle players, we have players from everywhere, and that sometimes different styles combining, and they're going to adjust, and I feel it's going to be, we can find what's going to be our exact playing strategy DNA during the tournament,
Sure.
I guess.
Well, because at some point, you can have a whole bunch of different styles, and that's probably good to learn more about the game, but at some point you do have to have a DNA as a team. Here's a centering pass in front and a shot that Conclaves is able to glove. Eventually.
Nice save by Rafael Gonçalves. It was a very close shot, but he was there prepared. The puck hit his belly and fall down inside the butterfly, the pads.
9:58 gone by in the second period. 2-0. Brazil leads. It has been a host of great saves from Gonçalves so far today. 21 of them in fact. Here's a shot that goes wide. So that doesn't count as a save. But it definitely gives you a scare when it ricochets that hard against the backboards. Played against the far corner here. Kelly with it. A lot of play in the Pakistani offensive zone recently. McGolgan handling. Finally Mughal trying to clear. Finds his teammate Potter. Back behind the net, played along the near boards. Floater winds up back on the near end, a centering attempt, but there's nobody there. Brazil's going to be able to clear on this one. It's Kelly who's going to lead it the other way. Tried to start a 2-on-2 attempt there, but it wasn't going to work. 4 minutes left here in the period. Along the near boards and dumped back behind the net. Handled by Telemac. Now at center ice here is Bereza. Bereza coming from the other end, and a glove save there by Natu on a shot that probably would have gone wide, but best to glove anyway. And play stops with 3:31 remaining in the second.
Yeah, a lot of battle here on the neutral zone. And then the 16, Bezerra, he slipped away from the right side of the rink and gave a great shot, but the goalie was really paying attention and they had a nice glove save.
Natu not having a bad game himself, 14 saves on his own end. It's been a high shot kind of day. Puck intercepted in neutral zone by Brazil. They bobble, they recover. It's Tornman, Maximiliano Tornman, the Brazilian native himself, coming up the far end. Trying to swing it around, has no one to pass to. And he gets bullied away from it. Pakistan clears. No icing on this one here. As Potter is able to go back and recover it. Played along the far blue line. Who's going to wind up with it? It's Brazil. Only before an interception happens here. Here's an attempt on. Gonçalves able to save on the rebound. It gets deflected away. Nice defense there from Brazil.
Yeah, the puck was coming for the number 71 of Pakistan, but Leo touched the puck with his stick and moved it away, saving the Brazil from getting his first score away against it.
That was Ali Khan, number 71 for Pakistan, who's been all over the ice today. Foreman tried to handle that one, but he couldn't. And Brazil bringing it up from their own end. Along the near wings, a lot of defensive pressure on those boards. Robertson, back behind the net, leaves in front, it gets deflected wide. Back up to the point. On the near wing, moving towards the center, but it gets intercepted in front of the net and knocked out of play. Not too far out of play, still winds up in. Winds up in front of the net, not a shot. But Gonçalves loves it anyway, and play stops with 1:43 remaining in the second period.
Yeah, and this one Leo tried to put it away, unfortunately. The puck then slipped a bit from his stick and got a very dangerous situation for Brazil, but Gonçalves was there and made a save.
Faceoff will be to the stick side of Gonçalves. Minute 40 remaining in the period. 2-0 Brazil leads. They're looking for more. Here's Gibbs. Near corner. Up top for Kelly. Kelly a shot. And into the glove of Natu, who was standing to make that quote-unquote save.
Nice play by Gibbs and Socrates. One pass from the goal line back to Socrates, which did a great shot. The goalie was really safe.
Here's a shot and it's in! Isaac Gibbs, the Central Michigan grad, puts Brazil up 3-0. Beautiful shot right off the face-off. He was able to get the job done immediately, and before this second period is over, Brazil has their third goal of the afternoon.
And if I'm not wrong, it's the first goal from Isaac, and I believe he's one of the newcomers from the Brazil team. So great addition to Brazil team.
That goal again was right off the face-off, as quick as it can be. Clock stops here as it puck's out of play with a minute 17 remaining in the second period, and a very comfortable 3-goal lead for Brazil so far in this game, with, in total about 16.5 minutes left of gameplay.
Brazil is building a good advantage, but he cannot stop the pressure he's doing on Pakistan, so doesn't make this game really hard again.
Pakistan truly has not stopped their pressure throughout this entire game, as is evident from their 23 shots so far, with a minute left in the second period. Here comes Pakistan now, a shot, and that's the answer. That is the counter for Pakistan. Looked like it was Colin Craig, the New York City native, and the 23-year-old puts Pakistan on the board finally on their 24th shot of the game. They finally score. It's 3-1 Brazil.
And we were not lying. A great breakaway from Pakistan, a pass to a one-timer, and nothing that the goalie could do. And now the difference comes back to 2 again.
And yet again, that uncomfortable 2-goal lead that we just found Brazil in 3 minutes ago. Final minute here of the second period, 51 seconds to be exact. Again, 3-1 Brazil leads Pakistan after the last 2 goals. Again, it was Isaac Gibbs who scored the 3rd goal for Brazil, and it looked to be Colin Craig He did it for Pakistan. Here comes Brazil back the other way. Robertson tries to backhand one to the center, and it gets deflected. 15 seconds left in the period. Last chance for either team here. Loose in the zone. Pakistan clears. 5 seconds now. Teams will just fiddle around for the final 2 seconds here. And that will end the period on a shot that went wide. It wouldn't have counted anyway. We've played 2 full periods here at the American Dream Mall in the opening game of Division II men's play of the Dream Nations Cup. Brazil leads Pakistan 3-1. We'll be back in just a few minutes with period number 3. Hey there, folks. We're back for period number 3 in this game during the Dream Nations Cup of 2025 from the American Dream Mall in New Jersey. This particular matchup is Pakistan and Brazil. Right now, Brazil has the better number. They lead by 3 goals to Pakistan's 1. It's Dylan Balsamo here for the 3rd period, and I'm joined still by my friend, Mr. Claudio Cavalcanti. Join me during the 2nd period as a representative of Brazil's national hockey team, who you're seeing on the ice right now. And it has been wonderful to get a chance to talk to him about the Brazilian program, everything that they have been doing, and the growth of the sport in, like we've talked about, a country that we don't particularly think of as being a hockey kind of country, but I suppose hockey can be anywhere. Anywhere you can get ice, you can have hockey.
Definitely. And we can build ice anywhere. And that's even Brazil is like a warmer country. Yes, we have ice rinks in Texas. We have ice rinks everywhere. So
absolutely,
we can build, of course, an ice rinks. But so just a good information, Brazil doesn't have enough rink with the official dimensions. So for practicing there, we need to practice 3-on-3. So these are the type of challenge we have there to grow the sport. We need more rinks, more players, and official size rinks, so we can really build a better future on ice hockey.
And that's why, like you said, most of these guys had not met before they all came here today, like we talked about. And they also had to stay here till 1 in the morning last night just getting to practice, because they had to go ahead and practice 5-on-5.
Exactly. Any ice time it matters. So if the time is 11 p.m. to 1 a.m., we'll do it.
You take whatever ice time you can get. I know a lot of people who have grown up playing hockey here in the States feel the same way. Most rinks aren't open anytime other than 5:30 in the morning on Saturday. So that's the time that you practice. So, it might be earlier as opposed to later, but still the same idea. Odd hours, you take what you can get.
Exactly, and people from everywhere, it's what we got. But that's the funny part, is like what we can build in a so short time with players that don't know each other, but we are here fighting and playing and do the best for the sport.
Puck is dropped on period number 3. Brazil a 3-1 lead. Pakistan trying to counter right away. Scored the last goal of the second period in the last few minutes of it. Now, Claudio, I want to ask you, you talked a whole lot about the meaning of the sport of hockey in Brazil, how it's grown, how this team has been during that last period, but you know what? You did it all in English. And from my understanding, English is not the national language of Brazil, is it?
Oh, no, we speak Brazilian Portuguese, so...
Would you do us the honor of talking a little bit about this sport in your nation's native tongue?
Ok, então vamos lá. Pessoal, vou aproveitar aqui também para falar em português sobre o Brasil Ice Hockey e sobre hockey no Brasil em geral. Eu vou parar aqui sempre que tiver algum lance que precise parar, tá? O Brasil Ice Hockey foi criado com o objetivo de fomentar o hockey entre os brasileiros. Como nós todos sabemos, brasileiros são muito apaixonados por futebol, mas como entusiastas do hockey que nós somos, também queremos compartilhar nossa paixão com os brasileiros e enfatizar a importância de desenvolver o hockey no gelo no país. O Brasil Ice Hockey trabalha treinando, desenvolvendo, promovendo o hockey no gelo para os brasileiros.
Here's a shot and a goal. Pakistan's second of the day, and they celebrate, making this a 1-goal game.
Yeah, a nice play. He passed behind the net. The goalie followed it. Nothing he could do. A one-timer shot from the face-off line, and that was a great goal on the left upper side of the goal. Nice score by Pakistan, reducing the difference now for 1 goal.
That looked to be number 16, the flexing forward and defenseman, Zakir Khan, native of Potomac Falls, Virginia, the 20-year-old, scores Pakistan's second goal, and this is now a 1-goal game. 3-2, Brazil leads the aforementioned Pakistanis as play continues here in the third period. But anyways, you were saying.
Yeah, então como eu estava falando, a gente trabalha para desenvolver, treinar jogadores de hockey brasileiros pelo mundo afora. O objetivo sempre é que essa equipe que você está vendo aí,
Here's an attempt coming here, but it gets deflected away. Pakistan right on the attack as the third period begins. Already a goal and looking to tie it as soon as they possibly can. And here's an interception now. It's Reed Potter with it. He gets deflected out of play. Stays in play, and a shot right on that Gonçalves is able to save.
Ok, agora com um pouco mais de calma. Essa equipe que você está vendo aí é composta por principalmente jogadores que jogam aqui nos Estados Unidos, no Canadá e no Brasil. Alguns jogadores, inclusive, chegaram ontem de manhã e treinaram até 1 da manhã de hoje, e mostrando o quanto que realmente nós amamos o que estamos fazendo. Então o hockey no gelo no Brasil ainda está começando sua jornada, ainda temos apenas alguns rinks de gelo e eles todos são fora das dimensões oficiais.
Shot right on, Gonçalves saves it, and we'll do it again.
Fora das dimensões oficiais, então a gente tem que treinar 3 jogadores contra 3 jogadores. No hockey são 5 contra 5, e mais os goleiros. Então são muitos desafios que os jogadores enfrentam. E essa aqui é a primeira participação do Brasil no Dream Nations Cup, mas o Brasil já participou, participa anualmente na Latam Cup, que acontece em agosto, na Flórida, desde 2018. E a partir de 2021 também está investindo nas categorias de base. Então nós temos jogadores...
Craig looking for another goal, Gonçalves.
Temos jogadores jogando na categoria de sub-13, sub-15 e a categoria sub-13, por exemplo, ganhou 3 dos últimos 4 campeonatos. Categoria sub-15 parecido também, ganhou vários torneios. Então, esse é o panorama do hockey do gelo no Brasil. Se praticamente 100 jogadores vindo de todo canto dos Estados Unidos, a gente consegue fazer um time competitivo, mais investimento, conseguiríamos fazer ainda bastante mais.
Thank you so much for that. That was really wonderful to hear. I really appreciate that you would come and share that with us. Now, did it bring Brazil giving up a goal? Sure. But I don't think that's your fault.
I hope not.
I don't think it is. I don't think it is. I don't know why I'd even bring it up. That Pakistani goal, by the way, confirmed. That was from Amir Khan. Here's another shot that gets deflected away. Gonçalves has had his work cut out for him here in the third period early on, and we're just about 3 minutes into it. He's on the counter here up along the near boards. Here's a shot that gets deflected away. It was off of Gibbs' stick that Natu handled.
Nice play by Isaac Gibbs. Unfortunately, hit the post, but almost there.
Near corner, Nasir trying to hand it for Pakistan, who's trying to clear. Pakistan still having the momentum, scoring at the end of the second and at the beginning of the third. But Brazil on the counter. Melnick with the puck on his stick, looking for a third goal. Here's a deflection in. Loose in front, but Gonçalves is able to handle. 11:07 remaining on the clock in the third.
And talking about the Brazil team, one thing to notice, so people know how this program happens for a long time. We have some players here that are playing since the first team. So we have like a 50-year-old player, we have a 45-year-old player, and we also have 15-year-old player. So showing how we have too many ages groups today and how we are renovating the teams. And hopefully soon we're going to have a more homogeneous age group playing, but still have those players who are here, they are more mature. They are definitely great players that are having now the opportunity to play a very good game, very good level hockey player.
Here's an attempt right on that gets deflected away. Gonçalves got a piece of it. Play stops here, but there might have a penalty in the far corner. But you talk about, the homogeneousness that you mentioned of, having a bunch of players that are all the same age that can all compete at the same time. That just comes with time and development, obviously. When you're building a sport kind of from scratch, the way that the nation of Brazil is with their hockey program, it's not going to happen right away. It is going to take time. But it does seem like for Brazil's point, it's happening very quickly. Quicker, I should say, than you might imagine.
Yeah, I think at some point we start to have the right decision of, okay, let's start to search the players. Instead of trying to create a nice rink in Brazil right away and try to...
Shot on, gets deflected.
And create new players there. Why not try to use all the players from Brazilian community all around the world?
There's breakaway here from Tornman. Tornman, nice defense there from Pakistan, able to stop the potential scoring play. Now they're back here on the counter. It's Colin Craig, owner of one of Pakistan's 2 goals. Under 10 minutes remaining in the game, 3-2 Brazil leads. This is the closest game we've had so far today here at the Dream Nations Cup opening day. Played up along the boards, but kept in by Pakistan. It was 17 who dumped it in there. Cleared out of the zone now. Tornman brings it up. Now Vincini. Left back there. Nice defense there from Bangash. 9.5 left in the game. Pakistan up to 30 shots now. 2 goals and 28 saves for Gonçalves, the netminder for Brazil. Attempt the other way is thwarted, and now it's Miranda with the puck. Backhands a pass along the line to Melnick. Melnick up top now. Miranda, a shot. Deflected wide into the corner. Under 9 left. Here's a shot in front, gets deflected. Nice save there from Natu, but a rebound is still loose before it gets knocked away.
The puck landed behind the player, and when he tried to spin up and make the shot, the defense came and stopped him from doing that.
Craig's tried to start an attack for Pakistan. It didn't go. Now Miranda in the corner. Tries to center it, gets intercepted. There was nobody there anyway. Now the counterattack is Pakistan. Here's a centering pass that rolls wide and cleared. Stolen at center ice now. Melnick forces Pakistan back into their own zone. Both teams making a bit of a switch here. Puck chipped at center ice and eventually dumped down. He was off the puck of Melnick. Under 8 to go in the game. Brazil 3, Pakistan 2. Loose at center ice. It's recovered by Pakistan. Here they come in. Shot attempt. And a nice stop there. And Gonçalves, who continues to have an unbelievable game, up to 29 saves now.
Yeah, the Pakistan player number 88 got a good breakaway from the left, tried to dig to the right, but Gonçalves lied correctly in the right place and made a very nice save. Another one for him.
7:46 remaining on the clock in this game. Brazil 3, Pakistan 2. We've had a whole bunch of blowouts today in these games, for lack of a better term. This is for sure been the closest game we've had.
And supposed to keep like this until the end. So no easy game. Let's go to the end, the last minute, and see who's going to have the best game in the end.
Now tries to clear, but he can't do it. Here's a centering pass from Pakistan. It's loose. Back near the net, but Marchetti able to handle it. Played along the near boards. Pakistan takes possession. It's Telemak. Eventually back down the other way. Here's Mughal with it. Up along the near wing. Coming inside, it gets deflected before it can get to Gonçalves. 7 and change left in the game. Played back in the other direction. It was McGolgan who tried to get a hold of it but couldn't. Back in the possession of Pakistan. Mughal again. Up the near wing. Here's the back for his teammate and his brother, Mughal. Now left in front, but it won't go. Here's a centering pass attempt that gets deflected away. Didn't touch the net, and Brazil was able to clear it.
And so it looks like that both teams are feeling a bit the intensity of the games. So they are leaving a lot of space right now. And let's see which team has a better breakaways to use this space that's been left.
Here's in the Pakistan zone. They're trying to clear and having trouble doing it. And finally, Barnwell able to do it. Now back up front the other way. It's Khan with it. Khan waits a man to help him out. He's getting double teamed. Tough luck in the far corner. Barnwell trying to swoop around. Barnwell across now. Here's a shot in. And eventually stopped here. Rosero was able to handle it. Now back in the other direction. Pakistan trying to reset. They've got a little under 6 minutes to tie this game. Down a goal, 3-2. The opening game of Division II men's play at the Dream Nations Cup. Left up top. Here's a shot. It gets deflected. Oh boy, that was about as close as you can get.
That was a very nice attempt, trying to get on the right side of the goalie, but it deflected a little bit and went to the boards.
5:26 left in the game. Pakistan plays back behind the net. They can't handle it. Brazil is able to clear, and they start moving back in the other direction. Here's Bezerra. Bezerra along the near corner. Here's the shot on. And Natu wasn't able to handle it at first. And it was Bianchini who attempted to push it forward, but eventually Natu was able to get his hands on it.
Very nice attempt. The puck comes from the side, it deflected a bit and went up. The player tried to do a one-timer, like a baseball hit, and eventually hit the goalie a few times. Still rumbling there, but everything's fine now.
Shots are now 30-20 in favor of Pakistan. Another shot that gets deflected and doesn't touch the net. Play to the near corner again. Now up along the boards, and it clears. Back on the other way, Pakistan. Trying this again. Khan had it, but he lost possession of it. Here's Gibbs. Gibbs moving around, fires one that looks like it might have hit the sidebar.
That's my impression too. He tried to hit and hit the sidebar and get off.
Close as you can get. Hitting the post right there. Collision between two of the Brazilian players. Pakistan with it back behind their own net. Looks to be Mad Nasir with the puck. He's trying to move it forward and can't do it. Now played at center ice, it's loose there, and now finally a breakaway here. It's going to be one-on-one, but he loses possession of it, and Brazil's able to clear. Stroke of luck there for the Brazilians. Looked like this game was about to be tied.
Yeah,
4
this
minutes
time
left.
both defense was trying to get out for the change, and then the puck deflected back to the offensive zone of the Pakistan, and then they really had to come back very quickly. And for the luck of Brazil, they couldn't progress it.
Golgan fights for it, recovers, but then eventually loses it. Now here comes another counterattack from Pakistan. They've had quite a few of these this period. Played up top slot. Tough Brazilian pressure here defensively. Shot deflects into the netting and out of play. 3:22 on the clock remaining in the game. Still a whole lot of hockey ahead later today. We hope you stick with us throughout this entire day and through this entire week. In the 2025 Dream Nations Cup, this is the second installment of this tournament, the first tournament of its kind. An international tournament for hockey teams on the international stage that you don't usually think of as being on the international stage. There's a great example between this game right here at Pakistan and Brazil, and it's been a very tight and close and exciting affair at that. Barnwell with the puck, and now a shot in front. Loose still, rebound, and eventually Gonçalves is able to hold on to it. 3:14 left in the game.
Rafa Gonçalves is definitely doing a very great game today. That was a very difficult one-timer. He was in the right place at the right time and made a very difficult save.
He's at 29 saves on the day. You know, the headline of this game, obviously, for Team Brazil will be Matthew Melnick with his 2 goals. But do not forget about the 29 saves that have been put up today by Rafael Gonçalves, the native of Troy, Michigan. 3:14 to go. Pakistan able to retake possession of the puck here. Played back behind the net, deep pressure. Now it's loose in front, and eventually it's clear. And eventually icing is called on that clearing deep across the ice. Pakistan will make a change. Under 3 minutes we have left in this game, and a 1-goal lead for the Brazilians.
Very nice game. We were leading to a very good ending. Hopefully it's going to be emotional to the last minute. Last second right now.
Probably about a minute away from Pakistan pulling its netminder. If you're not familiar with that element of the game, if you're down a goal late in the game, you might pull your goalie so you can get an extra skater on the ice. It's a strategy a lot of teams use, especially when you're down by a goal or 2 with 2 or 3 minutes left in the game. Here's a shot right on that gets stopped by Gonçalves. Really leaped out of the net there to grab that one. 2:50 remaining. Spin around shot. Gonçalves able to glove this one as well, and play stops will have a face-off on his stick side.
Yeah, after the blocker shot, the blocker save that Gonçalves did, the player number 17 from Pakistan tried to surprise him from the other side, but Gonçalves was really paying real attention and was there to make the save.
2:45, the amount of seconds the clock will tick left in this game. Brazil's a face-off in front of their own net. They lead 3-2. Eventually they're able to chip this one away and clear. Pakistan's hope for an icing. Here's a race to the puck that Brazil wins, so they'll stop that from happening. Here comes the attack here. Miranda in there to help out. Under 2.5 left. Now back behind, Miranda. He's gonna need some help here. Tries to center in front, here's a shot, still loose. And the rebound is eventually pulled away.
Great one-timer from Isaac Gibbs, pass from the 99 player. And that was a very good save for the goal.
2 minutes to go, and an offside call as Pakistan tries to create some offensive motion here very late in the game. And now a little bit of tension between these two teams. As we talked about, this is the only game of the day that has been this tight, this late. And you would imagine that creates just a little bit of tension. And you know, there's a certain amount of tension in this sport that's healthy.
Well, yeah, it helps to alleviate a bit the tension of the game, right?
Absolutely. Shots remain 31 for Pakistan, 20 for Brazil.
And nobody wants to lose the first game of the league, so
Absolutely.
Pakistan's going to fight whatever they can to the last second of the game.
As we talked about, this is both of these teams' first entrance into this tournament. Face-off happened right outside the Brazilian zone. Tariq Khan, number 8, taking the face-off for the Pakistanis. Robertson for Brazil, and Robertson wins it immediately and dumps it back down. 2 minutes left in the game. We get an icing call immediately. Both these teams trying to make some noise in their first appearance in this Dream Nations Cup. Both are programs on the come-up in one way or another. And here they are in this first game, and they are proving to everybody why they should be on this stage. This has been a very well-fought, professional, really exciting game.
Oh yeah, it's been a very good game.
Looks like Pakistan has taken a timeout here late in the game with 2 and change left on the clock. Really a lot to have enjoyed about this game. It's been some good goaltending on both ends, I would say, and we've seen some great scoring, some aggressive scoring, some great opportunities on both ends. It's really been a game of momentum to this point.
Yeah, it looks like Brazil has used very well his opportunities to get ahead on the score and get 3 goals. But Pakistan is now trying to recover, and still with his more than 30 shots. I done a lot to deserve these scores, but let's see how much they still can get until the end of the game.
This is just the first day of the second annual Dream Nations Cup, and already that's proven to be a fun one. This is definitely our closest game, but every game we've had so far has been exciting to be a part of. And you can be sure that will continue throughout the rest of the day. Much more coming up after this game, including the other Division II game. We'll talk more about that in a minute. 2 minutes on the clock. Back up top for the Pakistanis. And behind the Brazilian net. Brazilians trying to clear, and they will. Net is empty for the Pakistanis. They will have an extra skater for the remainder of the game. So it's 6-on-5 from here on out, unless something happens. 90 seconds remaining in the game. Played back behind the Pakistani net. And that's how you play with fire right there. Now here's a chance for the empty netter, and it's going to be a nice, easy one. Empty net goal might have just put this game away for the Brazilians.
23. Tournament.
It was Maximiliano Tornman, the native of Porto Alger, here in his first Dream Nation Cup appearance. is able to get on the board and perhaps has just clinched this game, the opening game of the tournament for Brazil over Pakistan. It's 4-2.
Yeah, after pulling the goalie, the Pakistan was trying to apply some pressure, but after the face-off, right after the goalie got out, Brazil was able to take it to the offensive zone. Pakistan tried to defend the best that they could, but at some point it got easy for the number 23.
And now they want even more. That was Tornman again, looking for his second goal in about 6 seconds, but that wouldn't go. The goals for Brazil have been Tornman, Gibbs, and 2 from Melnick. That has been the scoring for Brazil. For Pakistan, it has been Zakir Khan and Colin Craig. We have 1:05 remaining in this game.
For the Brazilians that are not very used to, let me explain this in português. Então, quando o time está perdendo por um gol de diferença, eles costumam tirar o goleiro para tentar fazer pressão no outro time. Então, o time fica sem goleiro, a barra fica aberta, e aí foi que o Brasil aproveitou e conseguiu fazer um gol até fácil com o número 23.
Here's another attempt right here that Natu is able to stop. And yes, he was not able to have the game that you might want to have with the native of Redmond, Washington, Ali Natu. Pretty solid game. Made 19 saves, yes, allowed 3 goals and then 1 an empty netter. Puck loose in front here for the Brazilians. 45 seconds remaining in the game. Here's a shot attempt that finds its way into the glove of Natu. That was off the stick of the 16-year-old forward, Lucas Robertson. As you talked about, a lot of age range on this Brazilian roster. He's on the young side, obviously, the 16-year-old Lucas Robertson.
Yeah, showing the Brazilians that are coming up, that are showing up, that are plays already in everywhere, but sometimes they don't know about the program of the Brazil ice hockey that they can play and represent Brazil colors. So hopefully with Dream Nations Cup we can have more players coming up. And
look on the Pakistanis in the other direction. Here's an attempt that Gonçalves couldn't hold on to on the rebound. It couldn't go, and now we have a little bit of a confrontation here in front of the net as play stops at 26 seconds left. And it's still going here. As we talked about, the tension is built up in this game, and this is the first game of the day that has been this particularly close. And now at 26 seconds left, we see our first real scuffle of this affair.
Yeah, talking about hockey, was a very good play Pakistan had. He tried to dig, and with the tip of the leg pads, the Gonçalves could make the save. And after that, it was some rumbling, and some players, especially number 13, pushed a bit. The number 98 from Brazil, and we had some argument there. Hopefully, it's already fixed on both sides.
So we will have some penalties coming up here, and obviously with 26 seconds left in a 2-goal game, it is mostly ceremonial. But nevertheless, you see 2 Brazilians in the penalty box right now, and 1 player in the Pakistani box as well. Not sure how this will affect the actual number of players in the field. What's a misconduct? What's a minor? What's a major? We will find out. Looks like the officials are discussing it over with the scorekeepers right now. Again, 26 seconds left in this game. 4 goals for Brazil, 2 for Pakistan. Still a lot more hockey to come this afternoon. We'll wrap up Division II men's play for the day after this, and then we'll move on to other affairs, including the women's game. And it looks like Pakistan's going to pull their netminder again. As of right now, there's only a 1-man advantage for Pakistan, so that's 5-on-4, plus they've pulled their goalie. So that means 6-on-4 for the remaining 26 seconds of this game. They'll need 2 goals. Played back by Brazil immediately. All they have to do is just hold on to the puck as much as they can. 18 seconds left now. A scruffle in the corner. Down to 12 seconds now, 12.9 as the whistle blows, and play stops again. Looks like we'll have another faceoff. Serving the penalty for Brazil is number 44, Socrates Kelly, Wayne, Pennsylvania. Here's a shot that comes right on. Looks like it might hit the post. 10 seconds left in the game. Another shot in front gets deflected away. 5 seconds now. And Pakistan is going to run out of time. That shot wide. This game is over. Brazil wins their opening game of the Dream Nations Cup in 2025, their first ever game in this tournament. They defeat Pakistan 4 goals to 2. This was quite a game.
Yeah, the last play of the game reflected what the game was. Some pressure from the Pakistan, but a safe game from the Gonçalves. It hit his stick, ran away, and Pakistan couldn't do anything else. That's it.
Really a lot to like from both sides of this game. Both teams had a lot to offer. They promised to continue to be productive and fun to watch in the remaining section of this tournament, specifically this group phase. But while we're talking about Brazil, the winners of this game, let's talk about the MVP of this game, and that is no doubt the man who scored 2 of Brazil's 4 goals, and that is Matthew Melnick. Matthew Melnick, a 25-year-old forward, attended Towson University. Not from far from here. He's from Westfield, New Jersey. That is not far from here. We hope you stick around for the rest of the games in this tournament, specifically the game after this. It is the other 2 teams in the men's Division 2. That is the Caribbean, and that is Mexico. And before we sign off here, I just want to give a quick thanks to my friend Claudio Cavalcanti for joining us for these last 2 periods to talk about the growth of the sport in Brazil.
Yeah, thank you very much for having us, for letting us to present more about, bring more awareness about the Brazil ice hockey team, and hopefully we can keep growing and we still be here many more times and showing what Brazil can do also on the ice.
Very grateful that you've joined us. We are going to sign off for just a couple of minutes, but we hope you stick around for the Caribbean and Mexico. My friend Will Weigel will be here for that, along with the rest of our incredible crew here at the 2025 Dream Nations Cup. Again, more hockey coming up right after this and throughout the day, so stick around.